Hello everyone, welcome to English Grammar and Literature World. Today we have a very informative and important class, that is Idioms and Phrases Set 1. So this is the one of the most important video on idioms and phrases. So let's start today's class. Look at the first one. To mount the throne means. So the idiom to mount the throne means. So look, mount means to climb or ascend. Understand? So a throne, royal seat of a monarch. Understand? So to mount the throne means officially become the ruler of a kingdom after the death or resignation of the previous ruler. So option D, to become a king and queen etc should be the right answer. Okay, look at the next one. Let your hair down means, so actually the idiom let your hair down means to relax and behave in a natural, informal and carefree manner. Understand? So option C, to behave freely should be the right answer. Okay, actually this idiom suggests a relaxed and behave in a natural, informal and carefree manner. So you can choose option C, to behave freely, as the right answer. Next, wear your heart on your sleeve. So actually if someone wears their heart on their sleeve, they openly show their emotions. They do not hide their feelings. Understands? So wear your heart and your sleeve suggest option D, expressing emotions very openly. Understand? So option D should be the right answer. Okay, good. Next, get a second wind. So the idiom get a second wind means to suddenly regain strength or energy. Okay, suddenly regain strength or energy. Okay, so option A, have renewed energy after having been tired is the right answer. Okay, next one, test your own medicine. So look, the idiom means receiving the same unfair or bad treatment that you once gave to others. So which one is the right answer? The right answer is option C, have the same bad treatment that you have given to others. Okay, so option C should be the right answer. And other options do not reflect punishment or similar treatment. Next, will or the wish means, actually the idiom refers something attractive but impossible to achieve. So look at the option B, an unrealistic or unattainable goal. Okay, next, at the 11th hour. So what is the meaning of the idiom at the 11th hour? Actually the idiom suggests something just before the deadline. Okay, something just before the deadline. So look at the option C, at the very last minute. Okay, is the right answer. Next, under the weather means, so the idiom under the weather suggests feeling slightly sick or unwell. Okay, feeling sick, or you can say unwell. Okay, unwell. So look at the option C, slightly ill should be the right answer. Okay, next, spill the beans. So tell me the meaning of the idiom spill the beans. This one is very important. So look, the idiom spill the beans means revealing secret or confidential information. Okay, it suggests revealing secret or you can say confidential information. That means option B, tell something that should be kept secret. Okay, is the right answer. So option B is the right answer. Okay, next, the pot calling the kettle black. So what is the meaning of the idiom? The pot calling the kettle black. Actually, it is used when a person criticizes someone else for a fault that themselves possess. So it is a mockery. Oh, or one kind of ridicule. So look at the option. Option A. A. People are guilty of the very fault they identify in others. Okay. So option A is the right answer of the idiom. Next, lay hands on. So the idiom lay hands on means to seize. Okay, to seize, catch, or okay, physically grab someone. So option A, to touch or grab someone, often with the threat of violence. Okay, so option A is the right answer. Actually, the idioms suggesting force, aggression, or violence. It can also mean to get hold of something with effort, but in exam context, it usually implies physical force. Okay, so the idioms suggest one kind of physical force. That's why we have to choose option A as a right answer. Next, wrangle for an ass shadow. So tell me the meaning of the idiom. Idiom suggest to quarrel. Okay, to quarrel, or you can say argue over something extremely trivial or unimportant. So option D, argue over petty issues. Okay, so option D should be the right answer. Actually, the phrase suggesting fighting over something as useless as a donkey's shadow, understand, which has no real value. Next, so look at the 13th, hit the sack means. So look, the word sack, means bed. So you can say this is an informal expression meaning to go to bed to sleep. Okay, to go to bed to sleep. So look at the option B, to go to bed in order to sleep. So option B should be the right answer. Okay, next, rain on someone's parade. So this one is very, very important. So tell me the meaning. Rain on someone's parade. Actually, this idiom means to spoil someone's happiness. Okay, the idiom suggests to spoil someone's happiness. So option C, to spoil and ruin happy moment. So option C should be the right answer. Okay, actually parade suggests imagination. Okay, so parade being spoiled by rain, so the joy is destroyed. It is used when someone ruins another person's good mood, or you can say success. Next, a Herculean task means. So the idiom a Herculean task suggests a very tough job or work. Look at the work Herculean. So here Herculean is a legendary hero known for performing extremely difficult labor. Understand? Therefore, a Herculean task suggests a task that is very difficult. Very difficult task. Okay, so option C, a tough job work, is the right answer. Okay, next, to put a spoke in one's wheel. Actually, these idioms suggest to disturb someone, or you can say create an obstacle. Okay, create an obstacles. So option D, to thwart someone in execution of one's design. So option D is the right answer. Okay, next, the whys and wherefores. The whys and wherefores means, so the idiom means the detailed reasons or cause behind something. So the idiom suggests detailed reason, or you can say causes behind something. So option A, underlying reason, is the right answer. Okay, next, to beat around the bush. So this one also very important. So tell me the meaning of to beat around the bush. Actually, the idiom to beat around the bush means avoiding the real point and talking indirectly instead of coming straight to the topic. So one kind of talking rubbish. Okay, avoiding the main point. Speak one kind of nonsense. So option B, to avoid the main issue, is the right answer. Okay, next, so this one is very important, very important. So look, wee hours of the day. So what is the meaning of the idiom? This idiom refers to the very early hours after midnight, usually between 12 am to 3 am. So the idiom suggests midnight. Okay, midnight. So option B, midnight, is the right answer. Next, wear and tear. So this one also very important, and I think you people know the right answer. So look at the option A, damage caused by use. Option B, repaired to be able to the use. Option C, refuse to use because of trip. And option D, destroy after using. So what is the right answer? Tell me in the comment section. So that's all for today. Here are total 20 questions from idioms and phrases. So that's all for today. Thanks for watching. Keep reading, keep writing, and keep watching English Grammar and Literature World. Thank you.